All right, free radicals, welcome back. My name is Dave, and this is the Radical Independent. And hey, we told you, it's official. Now, I know I'm doing a bit of stating the obvious here by doing this video, telling people that Bernie Sanders is dropping out and he is endorsing Joe Biden. It's all true, and everybody who was smart in progressive media started talking about this months ago and said, hey, there's no way. This guy's not willing to fight for anything, so how is he going to continue to go forward? And a lot of people just kept talking about the strategy and how mean the media was being to Bernie Sanders. Quick note to the Sanders campaign, and this goes to Howie Hawkins too. When you embrace Russiagate, expect to be called a Russian agent. I know, look, because if you're somewhat of an outsider, even if you try to inoculate yourself, because that's what Howie Hawkins tried to do in the Green Party, and there are a lot of people that would go running over to the Green Party right now who aren't into Russiagate. Now, the Bernie people were into Russiagate, and their supporters, a lot of them really didn't care about it. So Howie Hawkins would be the alternative to Bernie Sanders. I'm not sure why people aren't rushing over to Howie Hawkins today. It's April 8th. There is plenty of time, if people work diligently, to get the Green Party on the ballot in all the states that need, that where you need to win delegates. Now, you don't have to probably go to Montana or Wyoming or whatever. But you know what? The big states like California, New York, those are the states where if you could, get these candidates on the ballot, you can do some serious damage. And by the way, if you don't like Howie Hawkins, that's fine. I've been telling people about Dario Hunter. Dario Hunter is running in the Green Party. He is not a Russiagator. His platform, you look it over. If you're a Bernie fan, a Tulsi Gabbard fan, you will find a lot of good stuff there. There are people who are Tulsi fans who were closet diehard libertarians. And I don't understand that, because if you look at Tulsi's agenda when it comes to her green policies, $15 an hour wages, all those things, I don't know how that squares with the Libertarian Party. I think the anti-war stuff, by the way, the Green Party is more anti-war than Tulsi Gabbard and or Bernie Sanders. They are more anti-war. They're not just anti-regime change war. They're like anti-war, pretty much anything that's a stupid war that we're fighting in another country, or unless we're attacked directly, the Green Party is really not going to be for that kind of war. And I think the Libertarians share that view as well. But with the Green Party, you get anti-war and you get the working class. All right, because the Libertarians really don't have an answer, and I'm having a friendly conversation with a few Libertarians who followed me because I am radically independent, so they think I do have a lot of libertarian enzymes. I don't like the surveillance state. I don't like Big Brother. I don't like any of that stuff, and I think you'll find that most Greens are against that as well. See, the Green Party tends to focus on the underserved communities, minorities that we learned yesterday during Trump's press conference that African Americans are really being hit hard by this pandemic. And here's another reason why you have to have compassion on your fellow citizens, and you have to not write off human beings that look different than you do. I just think that's a part of our failing as a country right now. We tend to marginalize groups of people. Maybe we don't even realize we're doing it. Okay? So, it's funny, I'm looking at this live stream. Chip in now at live.berniesanders.com. Chip in for what? He's suspending his campaign. Why would you put that up as part of the introduction to this farewell address? Because that's what this is. This is what Bernie Sanders is going to do. And I'll try to do the Bernie impression, because I know there are some people in the past who've enjoyed it, and I'm not really getting too many views anymore, but Bernie's going to come on. He's going to basically say, look, I am today finally suspending my campaign. I know you've been waiting for me to do this. I don't want people going to polling places anymore, risking their lives trying to vote, even though I was kind of iffy on that the first time around. Now I'm kind of like, okay, don't vote. Here's the plan. We're going to the convention. We're going to have delegates, all right? We're going to have more and more delegates as time goes on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to my good friend Joe. Here I am, by the way, full screen. Look at me. I'm quitting. I'm out. It's an amazing event. I'm so excited about not running for president anymore and not pretending to fight. It's amazing. Oh, man. So Bernie, that's what Bernie is doing here. It's his farewell. And if you've been with me for a while and you're a Tulsi fan, I looked at Bernie because I saw a bigger campaign. I saw supposedly a grassroots organization that was going to get the job done. And, you can't see it here in the box. It says, while the campaign ends, the struggle for justice continues on. Only if you go to the Green Party. Only if you go to the Green Party. And I've been saying it over and over again. Now, I don't know. If it's just the perception of the Green Party that bothers you, I don't know why that is, because if you're truly for all those progressive things, but you're also for peace, in other words, you're not for violence, you're for sanity, then the Green Party is the perfect party. I don't understand why you're not over there. People just think, hey, it's just too radical. I don't want to go to that extreme. Well, your only other alternative is neoliberalism. That's your only alternative to the Green Party. It's pure, unadulterated neoliberalism, endless wars, a war-based economy. Imagine if we had a healthcare-based economy. Like we train people in the healthcare industry so they could be on the front lines and fight during the war that we're currently in, which is a legitimate war. Imagine that for the first time, people can agree across the political spectrum right now that we are in a war and we have to win that war. And we could have been much better prepared if we hadn't been wasting trillions of dollars, especially over the last generation, fighting wars that aren't making our country safer, but are making military contractors and companies around those contractors richer. So, again, today's a great day for the Green Party. You should check out their website. Again, if you don't like Howie Hawkins, it's Dario Hunter. Dario Hunter. I'm going to try to talk to him at some point, maybe tomorrow. Not sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to attempt it. And we'll see. We'll go from there. But it's full steam ahead. This is the radical independent. This was never meant necessarily to be the radical Tulsi or the radical Bernie or the radical cult of personality candidate. This is about the future of the country. This is about taking care of working class people, which I'm not really sure at this point if people in the Democratic Party understand that their party is no longer a party that supposedly takes care of the working class. It just isn't. So we have to create another movement, and it's easily done in the Green Party, which already has an infrastructure and is on the ballot in, I believe, about half the states, and can easily be on the ballot. If a candidate starts to catch fire, people are going to start to wonder, okay, how do we get this candidate on the ballot? And then you do petition drives. And then you file lawsuits in states where petitioning right now isn't the best thing. I mean, maybe you can do online petitioning. I don't really understand how that gets done. But if there's a will, there's a way. And if there's a movement, we can knock down the barriers and create a new movement, which again features people that actually believe in the progressive ideals of a Bernie or a Tulsi, and they really mean it. They're not going to just assimilate and try to influence with delegates. That's what I'm hoping to do. I go to the convention. I have thousands of delegates. I say, Joe, my good friend Joe, I say, look, Joe, I got these delegates here. I'm thinking you'll listen to me about Medicare for all, or at least maybe Medicare for some, or maybe Medicare for a few in 20 years or something. But in any event, we have to defeat Donald Trump, the most disastrous president in the modern era. Even though if we put Joe Biden in, he's probably going to be about the same, to be honest with you. He's just not going to talk mean. And I don't want any mean tweets. And that's why we love Joe Biden. Okay? All right. I'll see you on the campaign trail. Have a great day. Don't forget you can still support me. BernieSanders.com. We got a lot of expenses. We got a lot of bills to pay. We got a lot of staff that's still here that hasn't been fired yet. Today's their last day. So we're going to have a nice little party. We're going to send them on their way. Okay.